Arkansas, all sports. It's more sports.
All right, welcome in, everybody. What's going on? Wes Moore with you. Friday night, first night of the high school football playoffs, and it's been a good night. A lot of good games across the state coming down to the wire for some of these games, overtime for a game. We're going to talk to a lot of these coaches over the next 30, 40 minutes, hour, who knows. But we got a bunch of coaches. I think I've called 12 different coaches that'll be joining us periodically throughout the show. Let's take a look at the scoreboard already and get you caught up with some of the games across the state. And most of them, I'd say the majority of them, are final right now. We'll go to the Hootens.com scoreboard and take a look at 7A. Springdale goes to Cabot and wins 52-31. You got Bentonville over North Little Rock 34-33, and this is one of the ones I was talking about. So what a great game. Bentonville, Big West, a big comeback. North Little Rock led this game 33-27, and Bentonville Bentonville West drives down, scores a touchdown with, I think, 37 seconds to go in the game. Extra point is good. North Little Rock gets a couple of first downs, throws one into the end zone near the end of the game, and is picked off. And Bentonville West survives. The 3 seed out of the West beats the 6 seed by the skin of their teeth. Fayetteville, no problems with Pulaski Academy tonight. The mercy rule goes into effect in this one, 58-31. And Little Rock Christian, the Warriors take care of Harbor 44-34. And let's see here, I think we've already got the bracket set for 7A. We can go over to the AAA's website, and yes, they've got it already set up. So next week we'll have Bentonville hosting Springdale, since Springdale, the 5 seed, beat Cabot, the 4 seed. That's an all-West matchup there. And then Conway will host Bentonville West after the Wolverines escape North Little Rock. Bryant will host Fayetteville next week. And then you have Rogers hosting Little Rock Christian Academy. So it kind of held to form except for the one upset, if you want to call it an upset, Cabot, the 4 seed, losing to Springdale, the 5 seed. Let's look at the 7A after a couple of, 4 games this evening. Let's go and look now at, we got some coach. We're going to stop this real quick. Let's see if we got a coach. Nope, I was wrong. All right, go back to the scoreboard. 6A now. Not all final. Marion and Van Buren are in a good one. 33-29. Marion with the fourth quarter lead. El Dorado gets by Lake Hamilton 28-10. And Jonesboro, still a fourth quarter score, 42-34 over Southside. And Mountain Home rolls over Sheridan 78-42. The 6A playoff bracket looks like this. Sylvan Hills, of course, had the bye. They get the winner of that Van Buren-Marion game. Shiloh Christian will host El Dorado. That matchup is set at the top half of the bracket. Now moving to the bottom half, Greenwood, that is now final. So Jonesboro did hold on. They beat Southside. Jonesboro will go to Greenwood next week. 1 versus 4 matchup, and Benton gets Mountain Home. That is a final score. So Benton, Mountain Home. We'll have that'll be a good game down in Benton on Friday night. So 6A almost complete. Still waiting on the Van Buren-Marion score. Now let's go to 5A real quick. Joe T. Robinson, they were trailing at the half, and Coach Updegrove hopefully will be joining us here soon. They knock off Camden Fairview 38-27. Farmington shuts out Harding Academy 44-0 is your final score. Hot Springs survives BB. This is the 1 seed out of the South taking on the 4 seed from the Central, and this game went to overtime. It was back and forth. Pretty much it was 8-8, and then it was 15-15. Hot Springs scored to make it 22-22. And no, I'm sorry, they took the lead 22-15, and BB ran a fake punt and tied it up at 22. Go to overtime, and Hot Springs scores first in overtime. The extra point was botched, kind of a bad snap, bad hold, and the holder tried to score. They tackled him. BB gets the ball, and Beebe had a bad snap in overtime, went over the quarterback's head. And so instead of, they started at the 10, I think they lost about 12 yards on the play and just couldn't recover. And Hot Springs survives 28-22, your final score. Let me stop for a second because I hear some coaches joining us right now. We'll start with Trey Shucker down at Arkadelphia. The Badgers get the victory. Coach, welcome in.
Hey, thank you for having me. Yep.
How are you doing?
Doing good. We won. On to the next week.
That's all that matters, I guess, in the playoffs. Just survive in advance.
That's right.
Tell me about the game. How'd it go?
Yeah, I thought we went out there and executed really well the first couple drives. Defense played really well. It's really what it came down to. Our defense created some turnovers, put our offense in good field position. I thought our special teams played really well, put our offense in good field position. And offensively, we had some extra guys in there. We had 3 or 4 guys that have had some minimal reps this season, and so we struggled at times. But at the end, I know the score doesn't show that, but Highland did a great job at giving us some things that we needed to think about and expose us in some areas. And it was a playoff game. When in these playoff games, they're going to have that. But no, we came out on top, and that's what matters.
44-6, the final score with Arkadelphia winning. Coach, last year in your run to the state championship, it was your defense that really kind of took over and in the state championship game. Great. Do you feel like maybe that is starting now for you guys?
Put me on the spot. I think we show spurts of that. I think I can see it there. I can see a lot of the same things. It's just we got to be more consistent as a whole. If we can be consistent, I think we can have the same type of product. But the consistency is what we're struggling at right now.
Well, you'll need that defense next week against Clinton.
No doubt.
A little bit different. How hard is it going to be to prepare for that this week?
Yeah, they're smash mouth football. They're gonna come right at us, and they're a physical football team, and they're really good. Coach DeFriend does a good job, and we've played them a couple times. What is it, 3 or 4 years ago? And they always do a great job. We're gonna have to be prepared, and we're gonna have to be ready to take on a physical bunch. And so it's going to be a big week of practice, and we're glad that we get to stay in Badger Stadium for that game. That's for sure.
Have you faced a team like that this season with the wing tee or a similar type running game?
I'd say Lake Hamilton's probably the closest thing.
And that you feel like that's preparing you for this?
No doubt. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Lake Hamilton, that game alone just kind of shows us the speed and obviously the scheme and just the different things that go along with it. But just the physicality of it. Lake Hamilton's a physical football team. They ran into the injury bug as the season went on, but when we played them, they had their whole team, and they were a physical football team. And so I feel like that game is something that we can lean on to go back to and show, hey, we can do it. We've got to play and have that same mentality.
Coach, congratulations. Good luck in practice this week, and hopefully we can talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Trey Shucker, Arkadelphia. They get the victory tonight, 44-6 over Highland. Let's head down Highway 10. Tyler Updegrove joins us. Coach Up from Joe T. Robinson. The Senators get it done. Coach, a little bit of a slow start. Camden Fairview, I was watching a little bit in the first half, fall behind, but then big second half and get it done.
Yeah, I wasn't real pleased with our first half. Anytime it seemed like we got something going, we got a penalty here, a penalty there, and then, we get the pick six to start it, then they get a pick six, and then they onside and get it, and we get them 4th and 2 from the 2, and a play we've worked all week. We decide not to cover it how we've covered it all week, so we're down 14-7, and then stalled in the red zone again and got a field goal.
I think we lost Coach Updegrove real quick. We'll get him back on here. And in the meantime, well, we'll just go right down the road to Coach Grimmett, Little Rock Christian Academy. They get the victory tonight. Coach, welcome in. Congratulations.
Thank
moving
you.
on after beating Harbor 44-34. Tell me about your game.
Yeah, I mean, we came out and played really well in the first half. We kind of controlled the game offensively. We were able to run the ball and be explosive in the run game. Defensively, I think we had one bad drive in the first half, but other than that, we shut them down. I think it was 23-6 at halftime. And then we came out second half and offensively looked great. Drove the ball down the field, continued to score. Defensively, uh, didn't look so great. We got a little tired in the second half, but we were able to finish it out with a final 44-34 and get a win. So.
Now, I heard on the radio from one of the Hootens guys that there was a possibility if you guys won this week, Kemp could be back next week. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I mean it's possible. He's got to, it's up to the doctors and those kind of things. And but yeah, it is possible. But Eli played great tonight, so we're very happy with his performance. And if we can get Kim back, that'd be great.
How about playing Rogers next week?
Yeah, I mean we know they're a challenge. I've watched them because I watched them play Harbor, and I've seen some of their games earlier in the year. But we know they're really talented, and they got a phenomenal quarterback and a great linebacker, H-back tight end, whatever you want to call him. So they've got two really special players, and they're playing really well. I think their coaches do a great job. So we got our work cut out for us next week, but we'll be excited about making that trip and being able to play them.
Yeah, Jeff Regan, the quarterback. I think it's the Lindsay kid. They're fun to watch if you're just a fan. Maybe tough for you this week, but I may not like watching them. But offensively, you're clicking. You got 44 points tonight. Tell me about who are your leaders on offense.
Man, there was a bunch of guys that made plays tonight offensively. I think it starts with the O-line. They got a phenomenal push all night and protected the quarterback well. Eli Robertson played well. He made some big throws and some really big runs. I don't know what his stats are, but he had some really big runs tonight. Jackson Ward did his thing, running the ball from the backfield, and then Tristan Watson had some big plays out of the passing game, and so did Ryan Burkett. Also had a couple big plays for us tonight. So really proud of just the offense. Was just a group effort tonight. Everybody was doing their job, and things were clicking, which was huge.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the victory over Harbor. Good luck next week, and safe travels up to Rogers.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Go Warriors.
Dustin Grimmett joining us, LRCA victorious. Let's go back down Highway 10. There's Coach Up. We got you now. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. But yeah, just to reiterate,
so many people out there. That's what it is, Coach, and it's eating up all your Wi-Fi. A big fan.
Man. So, but no, I mean, just had to get a win tonight. It wasn't pretty.
Well, we talked earlier in the week. This wasn't a normal 4 seed out of the South with Camden Fairview. That's a good team, and you had a tough test in the first round.
Yeah, we knew that we were getting into, not your typical 4 seed. I saw the BB Hot Springs on your ticker. But we kind of felt BB was going to be a good matchup there, and so we're not the only 1 seed that just struggled a little bit tonight. Coach Vaughn's got a great group. Those kids played extremely hard, and they got some momentum in the first half. I was really proud of our kids because we really challenged them at halftime, and we got Deuce going in the run game. I was really proud of our O-line because Deuce had a Deuce-like game, but we pulled them when we got up 17 just because he's a little banged up, and they scored on a trick play, and we had some other backs go in there and, just kind of ice the game. So really proud of that.
Did he re-injure himself? I noticed at one point they said on the game that he was getting re-taped up and was sitting out a series.
Yeah, it wasn't a re-injury. It seems like it's something new every week. I'm glad that I don't have to do an injury report because we may have about 7 to 8 body parts that are listed. So he's just a tough kid. And even he kind of got rolled up a little weird on one of the last series, and he came to me and said, if we're going to run the ball, I'm going to go in. But after that, I think I probably need to come out. And he busted one for about 70 and scored. So, just a special kid it means the world to him. It's just you can't really replace a kid like that for us right now. And then I like I said, I thought our O-line blocked really well. It wasn't just Deuce. Trey Petty and Bryshawn Cunningham had some really good runs where they were just getting 6, 7, 8 yards of carry, and really proud of those two for, kind of grinding it out at the end there. So, it's like I told the kids, it wasn't pretty. We got to learn from it, but at the end of the day, you just want to be one and playing again next week. So, and we've got a tough challenge in front of us next week.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about next week and how you're going to prepare this week for that.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's, I haven't watched much of Farmington just because we don't really have any tapes that, cross over there. But I know the quarterback, I watched him in the state title game last year. He's a special player. And so we're going to have our hands cut out for us. But, if we want to be the team we've talked about being all year, we got to go out and just play like we're capable of. We've got to stop doing things that hurt us. I don't know what the penalty counter was tonight. I didn't obviously agree with a few of them, but, we've got to stop doing stuff that hurts us. And then, my quarterback's got to just make the easy throws. I thought he did it for the most part. He missed a deep ball late that if he just gets rid of it earlier, it's a touchdown. So, we got to go back to the drawing board on ourselves. We got to, rehab and all those things and just get ready to go for, next week.
We talked all week that we felt like the Lakeside and Searcy game may be the best game in the state. I think next week it may be you guys with Farmington to have the, a team that played the finals last year playing the number 1 ranked team in the second round. That's a whale of a game right there.
Yeah. We better pack our lunch and better decide to focus up a little more this week.
Coach Up, we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
and congratulations
sir.
on the victory. Good luck with Farmington next week.
Thank you.
Tyler Updegrove joining us after Joe T gets the victory. It moves on in the playoffs. See, our green room is empty right now, so we can go back to the scoreboard and take a look at some of the lower classifications. We were at 7A and got down to 6A, and we'll take a look at some of the 5A scores. Let me share that with you real quick, and we'll go back to the Hootens.com First Security scoreboard. Let me refresh that too. They got some scores coming in right now. That's exactly where we were. We're talking about 5A, and there's the Joe T score over Camden Fairview, 38-27. Farmington rolls 44-0. That sets up that matchup next week. Hot Springs survives in overtime, 28-22. Morrilton goes on the road, 55-26. That's another road team winning tonight. You got Harrison. They go on the road, beat Valley View. So the West taking it to the East tonight. That's 2 West teams that went on the road and won tonight. And Greenbrier took care of business, 49-21, and Farmington won 44-0. So the West went 4-0. That's right. Yeah. The 1 was Greenbrier, 2 was Farmington, 3 was Morrilton, and the 4 was Harrison. So, wow, how about that? The West goes 4-0 against the East. The East is out of the playoffs. Just realized that looking at these scores. Parkview wins 28-7 over Maumelle. Second time to be playing them this year. Greenbrier, like I said, they roll over Batesville 49-21. I think it was 42-0 maybe at one point. Then Searcy Lakeside, that's the game we were just talking about. This game was 28-27 at the half. And then I think it was 35-34, and then it's all Lakeside. They win 56-34. So the South gets a victory there. The South with Parkview gets a victory. Hot Springs gets it. So the South goes 3-1. The only one that lost was Camden Fairview. Yeah, I knew the South was good. They showed it all year. All right, to the 4A now. Blytheville wins 42-27 over Pottsville. Mills. Ooh, I need to text Coach Lee real quick. They beat Helena West Helena 40-38. Mills was in control of this game. Helena West Helena came out third quarter and just dominated it, took the lead. Mills comes back, and they get the victory. Your final score, 40-38. Mills wins. That was a whale of a ball game. Wish I would have watched a little bit more of that. Man, tonight was so much fun. I ended up not going anywhere. I sat at the house and just flipped around and watched game after game. It's amazing now, YouTube, how you can pretty much find any game you want to watch in high school. Sorry, I was texting Coach Lee. Final. Wow. How about that? Bauxite Ozark. That was another one. I knew that was going to be a great game. 2-3 seeds going up against each other, both from really good conferences, well tested. And Bauxite at the pit pulls it out 28-26, the final score. Man, that was crazy game. Elkins, no problems with Forest City, 42-0. Batesville, no problems. They roll over Huntsville. That's South Side, 42-14. Arkadelphia, we heard from Coach Shucker a couple minutes ago, 44-6. They win. Clinton rolls over Fountain Lake, 62-32. Warren gets the victory over Gentry. Nash, there's your upset. Pocahontas knocks off the number 1 seed from the 7-4A. Pocahontas wins 32-13. How about that? Prairie Grove also goes on the road. They get a victory, 34-14. Dardanelle, where's Coach Vega? I thought he was going to join us. Make sure real quick nobody's in the green room waiting on us. No, they're not. We text them, and we'll get some more on. So Dardanelle wins 56-14 over Malvern. Hamburg wins 42-21 over Mena. Monticello on the road knocks off the 2 seed. Lone Oak 42-25, and Gravett, no problems with CAC, 64-14 is your final score. And just heard somebody join us. Let me go over here, and we'll pull in Randy Tribble. We were just talking about those Greenbrier Panthers. Coach, welcome into the show. How are you doing? You got me, Coach? Can you hear me? Coach, I don't think you got your speaker on. I don't think you – can you hear me? You can't hear me talk.
Hey, Wes, I'm not hearing anything.
I can't hear him. Okay. Hop out and try to hop back in. In the meantime, we'll get Phil Vega in here. Here he is. Coach Tribble's having some issues. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. I can just fine.
All right. We were just talking about the Sand Lizards. Good win tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. Kids executed in all 3 phases tonight. It was a lot of fun to be a part of it.
That's got to be nice. First round victory. You don't have to sweat and maybe pull some of your guys and not have to go a full 4 quarters. Try to rest some guys.
For sure, it was a lot of fun. And like I said, kids executed. O-line did an outstanding job. Our quarterback did a really good job getting the ball to receivers. And, it might have been the best our team has clicked all season. And then our receivers, I don't know that we had – I want to say maybe we had 1 drop ball tonight that was a catchable ball. But Creed threw it really well. Lyman did a great job protecting. Like I said, the receivers did an outstanding job catching balls and caught multiple contested balls as well. So really proud of those guys. And then defensively did a really good job. They have lots of weapons offensively, and our D-line did a great job and then did a good job on the back end. I think we ended up having 2 or 3 picks also.
Oh, nice. So you did it. You did it. All 3 phases. You were successful. How about Hamburg next week in that matchup? It's going to be a heck of a game.
Yes, it will be. And, I'm just glad that they got to come to our place. We seem to play a lot better at Dardanelle. And our fans get into it. Community gets into it. It's a really big deal for our town. So, we're really excited about the matchup and look forward to Hamburg coming to town. And we're going to find out firsthand what that running back's all about. So it would be a definite challenge for our defense, and should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen what Nakel Lewis did tonight, but it seems like he was averaging almost 5 touchdowns a game. I mean,
absolutely. I was going to say he had to have had 5 or 6 touchdowns. I haven't seen anything either, but I would guess he had 5 or 6 touchdowns. He is an outstanding running back, and I have seen a little bit. I watched them play Stuttgart, I guess a couple weeks ago now. But like I said, looking forward to that challenge.
They won 42-21 over Mena, so looks like they scored 6 touchdowns. If I was a betting man, I would say he got 4 or 5.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I know their O-line is big kids, and they have a couple sniffer backs that are big, good-looking kids as well. They do a good job of blocking for him, and then him getting the ball and doing his thing. He's very shifty, elusive. He's tough to tackle. We're definitely going to have great pursuit to the football, and and that's what I think will be the coolest thing. I'm not quite ready to see it yet because our kids aren't prepared just yet, but just to see how our defense, we really kind of hang our hat on flying to the football and having an outstanding pursuit. So we'll see how that goes next week. Should be
Well,
fun.
good luck. Good luck in practice. Have fun this week, and we'll hopefully talk to you next week, Coach.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me, Wes. Thank you.
Phil Vega. Dardanelle gets it done. 56-15 over Malvern. Let's check with Coach Tribble again. Coach, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
I can hear you. We
Well,
did
good.
it.
How about that?
Well, you know what? Sometimes you just got to call a little audible. That first play doesn't work, but you can get them on second down.
I figured something out on this, so good to talk to you.
You too, and congratulations on the victory over Batesville. I checked in early, and y'all were rolling early in this game.
Yeah, we did an offense. Offense scored 6 touchdowns in the first quarter. Defense was doing a good job of getting it back to us. Our quarterback had a really good night. He was 12 out of 15 for 241 yards and 5 touchdown passes. And had a receiver with 6. Trendon Mosley had 6 catches for 122 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he had a really, really good night. He went over 1,000 yards receiving for the year tonight with that 122. And Enoch Hassan got 16. Let's see, he got 16 carries for 155 yards and 1 touchdown. So we had some guys that had some really good performances. Proud of our team. Our defense got us the ball back there in the first half. We played young guys in the second half the whole time and had the running clock going, so it didn't take too long.
It was good, I'm sure, to get Enoch Hassan a light load this week and save him for future weeks.
That's right, and told him I wanted to make him a little bit tired, but he didn't play any in the second half, and so he'll be fresh and ready to go when things are a little tougher next week.
Was that kind of the game plan for Batesville, to throw it more, or is that you just took what they were giving?
We just kind of took what they were giving us, and everybody loads the box up to stop Enoch, but we've got really good receivers, and our quarterback's been playing well all year. So that's just what was seemed to be available to us, and we made big plays when we attempted to pass.
Coach, next week you get Lakeside, and that's going to be a whale of a game. I watched a little bit of that Lakeside Searcy game, and
Right.
Lakeside ends up running away. I think they scored the last 21 points to get the victory, a road victory for them.
Right.
And what do you know about Lakeside?
I don't know a lot about them. We've got some film we'll get on here real soon, and but I know they've played real strong. I hear that they've got a big, strong offensive line and a good running back. They've got a receiver that I've had some people in their league tell me was tearing up the league. I believe his name is Drew Morgan.
Yes.
And I know I've seen them around in 7-on-7 tournaments and that kind of thing the last couple of years, and they've got strong, good looking athletes. So I know we'll have our hands full, but we're excited about the challenge and moving on.
It should be a heck of a game. Good luck in practice this week. And, Coach, hopefully I get to talk to you again next week.
All right. Thanks, Wes.
You bet. Thank you, Coach. Randy Tribble, Greenbrier Panthers. How about – that's a great game next week. I was just looking at the bracket, and I'll show it to you. Let me share that with you real quick. And let me refresh it, too, because I don't think that one's filled out quite yet. But here we go. Let me share that bracket with you. The Centennial Bank State Playoffs. Is it that one? I can't even hardly read that. I'm gonna guess it's one. Hold on. I'm doing this on the fly. Play with 1, 2. Maybe it's this one. We'll just take a stab at it. We'll look at the 4A bracket while I lead up. That was too much trouble. That was hard for me. The 4A bracket is almost complete. Gosnell with the bye. Arkadelphia, Clinton. I'm getting to the top here. Man, that's a lot. Stuttgart, Blytheville next week. Stuttgart got the week off. Blytheville beat Pottsville. Looks like Mills will play Bauxite. Ooh, that's fun. That's a good one. Elkins against Southside. Arkadelphia Clinton. Gosnell gets Warren. Pocahontas Prairie Grove. Dardanelle Hamburg. Great game. Monticello Gravette. Wow. Okay. Let's go to the 5A bracket. And let me see if I can find it. I got too many tabs open for you guys, trying to catch everything. I think this is it. I think we got it. 5A. Got it. All right. Harrison, Parkview. Well, let's go to the top of the bracket. There we go. That's the game we were talking about. Robinson, Farmington. What a matchup in West Little Rock. Hot Springs will host Morrilton. Let me text Cody McNabb. He's on the road. He couldn't join us tonight. That's right. They went on the road and picked up the victory. Harrison and Parkview will play, and then you get Greenbrier Lakeside. That's a look at the 5A matchups next week. Some really good playoff games right there. Got a coach joining us. Let me pop back over there. I'll stop sharing that, and we're going to bring in Daryl Burnett, head coach, Hot Springs. We were just talking about next week. And, Coach, welcome into the show.
How you doing?
Get him in. There he is.
Different. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Hey, Coach, how are you doing?
All right, we're good to go now.
Lost you for a second. Here you are. Good to
I'm
see
doing
you.
good.
Hey, wow, Coach, I got to admit, I watched a lot of this game. You had me glued to the TV because it was a close one. I'm sure it was a little too close for you.
Yeah, way too close. Life is hard. That game wasn't supposed to, but, round one of the playoffs, what I tell you earlier, I guess I shouldn't have been negative, Nancy. We won, so we got a lot we got to fix. They did a good job of scheming us on special teams, just point blank period. They out coaches on their part. And then defense stepped up.
I was going to say they got you on a fake punt, kind of a end around type of deal, and broke it and scored a touchdown.
Yeah, they got us on the pass too on punt as well early in the game, and then they do a lot of stuff with the onside kicks and stuff, but you just gotta have a sense of urgency. You gotta do your job. You got to really lock in the playoffs. It's not like the regular season where you can always out and come back in on Sunday and get things fixed. Playoffs is really win and go home, and you look at some of the scores. I think I'm looking at the 5A scores. You got two games that was kind of out the wazoo. When you look at the Lakeside game, I guess you talk about Morton and Greenbrier. Everything else was, 1 or 3 possessions away from, winning or losing. So you gotta have a sense of urgency. But they did a phenomenal job having them.
I'll tell you, I was going to tell you, Lakeside, that was a 1-point game at the half, and then I think they both scored, and then Lakeside rattled off 21 straight points towards the end to pull away. But for the most part, that was a very close game.
Man, but that goes back to playoff ball. I guarantee you, I haven't watched that game, and I never will, but unless we have to play one of them coming down the road. But I guarantee you, it was probably a third down here or a penalty here or something like that can change the game. And when you've been coaching long enough, or you've been in these situations, you kind of see like it's really not like a regular game. Like everything really matters. Like everything does. First down matters, second down matters, kickoff matter. One person on kickoff, everybody matters. Everything matters. So we got to do a better job having a sense of urgency. But the kids stepped up and won. So at least we get another chance on Sundays to get everything fixed and make sure our kids are ready to go. And that's what we got to do as coaches.
Coach, I was curious. At the end of the game, you had 4th and about 5, and you decided to kick the field goal. Were you debating going back and forth to go for it?
Yeah, we didn't have our deep snapper tonight, and it kind of showed too. So I didn't like the snaps. The snaps was low. To be honest with you, that's a big time situation too for a backup snapper, to be in that situation. And you see his shoulder kind of like on the touchdown, So if we was clicking on offense like we normally do, I probably would have went for it. But our kicker has been really, really good. And, you know, he had an off night tonight. Everything was off, really. So I was debating it, but also, you know, we was debating on should we slow down, really. But, you know, our kids don't do good at slowing down, really. You know, so a whole lot of thinking going on. And it didn't work no matter what. So just wasted about 2 minutes of my life thinking.
I wonder what were you thinking in overtime? You scored the touchdown first, then you had the bad snap, kind of a bobble, and took off running, almost got in, but 6-point game, touchdown and an extra point, and you lose. And then it's a bad snap that costs BB. It goes over the quarterback's head and it sets him way back.
Yeah, and that's why I called I guess you can say crazy or dumb timeout. I don't know if you noticed, I called that timeout with like 1 second left in the fourth quarter. I was hoping they didn't, you know, get up on the center. I was hoping, you know, because some people don't really practice on the center. So I was hoping they just take a chance of snapping it and maybe you get lucky with it going over his head. But they actually got up under the center and they had some snaps. We just didn't. It was like, oh, bad snap. You gotta be full speed because we probably could have got on a few of those. So once we muffed that extra point, it was simple. You gotta get a stop. It ain't no if they score, if they do this, it's simple. You gotta get out the field. And Smiley, all those guys, Kalari, you know, some of the big boys, they stepped up and got us off the field, and we got to win. So just win in advance.
That's the good news, Coach. You get to practice next week and play another game.
Yes, sir.
Best of luck to you. Thank you for calling in.
All right, thank
Congratulations on the victory.
Appreciate
it. That's Daryl Burnett, Hot Springs High School. They beat BB in overtime. Let's keep it rolling. Chris Dufran joins us, head coach at Clinton. What's up, Coach? How are you?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. Had a good night tonight.
Yeah, you already made it home.
I made it home. I'm sitting on the floor right now. I'm wore out.
Are you?
I am.
Well, you guys took care of business against Fountain Lake.
Yes, sir. They got a good team. They got two dandy receivers. Quarterback's really good. We knew they were capable of scoring a lot of points, but we played well. You know, held them 12 points first half, and I think we scored 9 out of 9 times having the ball. So I think the only time we didn't score was we took a knee at the end of the game. So our offense rolled pretty good.
Running it, throwing it, a little bit of both, or was it mainly run?
Yeah, no, a little bit of both. I think we had 300, a little over 300 running and about 150 passing. So Brody, I think, was 6 for 6 tonight. And he's my youngest son, did a good job tonight and got us out of a couple of bad situations. And Zach Hunt Gonzalez, I think he had 4 rushing touchdowns, about 100 yards. And Rylan Jones had like 165 yards and a touchdown. So that's some big plays. A couple of quick drives, but our kids played well and always good to win in advance.
I didn't take you for a cat guy. What's the name of your cat?
Oh, that is Ro. That's one of my girls' cats for sure. Just climbing around my head.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about next week because that's going to be fun.
Yes, sir. Should be a good game. Obviously, Arkadelphia's got a great bunch, and you know, I've barely watched them on film a little bit against Fountain Lake, and you know, obviously spend a lot of time this weekend studying them, getting ready. But probably it should be a good game. Hopefully, we can play with them and make it a fun game.
You think this is where your offense, you know, in the playoffs, when people aren't used to seeing it now, you know, in conference, a lot of times those teams prepare for you and they get a taste of it once a year. But when you get in the playoffs, we had Coach Shucker on earlier, and he was like, you know, they hadn't really seen anything like it. Lake Hamilton to a sense, but do you think that gives y'all a little bit of an advantage with 1 week to get ready?
It does. I mean, you know, we've been doing it since they were in 7th grade, so we can you know, run our offense well, but they only have just a few days, you know, really Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to prepare for it. But they've played it in the past. You know, we've run into them 2 years in a row there a couple of years back, so they know it, and they'll be fine. But it does give you a little bit of advantage. Everybody's spread, and then you got to come play a run heavy team. So hopefully it'll give us an advantage.
I think it's a heck of a matchup. The defending state champs and their defense, that's what led them the way last year, and they did a really good job. He said tonight they held Highland to 6 points. So I think your offense, their defense, that's going to be a heck of a matchup to watch on the field Friday night.
I hope so. I hope so. Our kids are playing hard, and, man, they giving it all they got. So hopefully we go down there and give them a good ball game, and you never know what'll happen in high school football.
Coach, we appreciate it. Thank you for calling in, and congratulations.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
You bet. It's Clinton getting the victory, and Chris Dufran joining us, 62-32 over Fountain Lake. I think that's what I just wrote down. I saw it come across the bottom of the ticker. I hope y'all noticed the ticker. Thank you, Corky's. Hey, and thank you, Gwatney Buick GMC. Good time to tell you about Gwatney Buick GMC. Black Friday's right around the corner. Don't worry about Black Friday. Gwatney Buick GMC has it rolling right now. They're doing some great deals in November. That way you don't have to fight the crowd on Black Friday. Listen to some of these deals that they have going right now. New Sierra 1500 up to 20% off MSRP. 2026 Terrains at just $279 a month. 2026 Buick Encore GX $199 a month. And don't forget about the hottest crossover out there, the 2025 Invista Preferred, just $179 a month. Don't worry about all the chaos or the drama, the fighting on Black Friday. You can get these deals right now at Gwatney Buick GMC. It's 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. The website is GwatneyBuickGMC.com. Check them out. Big thanks to them for sponsoring the show and making this possible. If you are in the market for a car, truck, SUV, give them a try in North Little Rock. Show them the support that they're showing me, and let them know about that you appreciate what they're doing for more sports and allowing us to do this. All right, let's go back. Check the green room. Nope, we don't have any coaches with us right now, so we're free to go. Let me switch that out, and we can share the scoreboard, take a look at some more scores. It seems like every time we get down to 3A, we get a guest on. So here we go. We were just talking about Nashville. They go and lose. That was one of the biggest upsets of the night in my mind. Pocahontas winning 32-13. Prairie Grove on the road over Heber Springs. There's the Dardanelle score, 56-14. Hamburg beats Mena. Monticello on the road, 42-65, and Gravett takes care of CAC. Now to 3A, Walnut Ridge, no problems with Dumas, 70-33. Bismarck rolls 57-0 over Lavaca. McGee, there's your road team winning 46-8 over Magnet Cove. Salem, number 1 in 3A, continues to roll 54-7 over Falk. Newport, 48-14, a winner. Osceola, they go on the road, beat Cutter Morning Star 56-22. Drew Central 43-6 defeats Paris. Boonville 69-27. They knock off Quitman. Glen Rose. Ooh, Coach Keener was going to join us. Let me text him real quick and see if he can join the show. 49-12 is your final. Glen Rose wins. Atkins over Prescott, 27-6. So Red Devils stay hot, and they go on the road, knock out Prescott in the first round. Fordyce, wow, 46-0 shutout over Jesseville. Charleston, 71 points. They beat Barton. Smack over 54-8. Smacking of Hackett. And then Mayflower, 43-7, beat Washita County. Now to 2A real quick. Mineral Springs, 32-6 over Hampton. Desart, 58-36. Couple road teams winning in 2A. Bearden, can't do it. Junction City, man, they're so big. 65-12. Cross County shuts out Bigelow. EPC, 49-7 over Conway Christian. Poen knocks off Gurdon, 40-37. Mount Ida wins over McCrory, and Carlisle over Spring Hill. So that's a look at your 2A games right there. Looks like just about everything is final. The Charleston one's not final, but easily ahead in that one. I'll go back and to the top, and we can go through this one more time. I'll refresh it and make sure that we're all good. And let me see if there were any other coaches that we're waiting on. Yes, there is. Let's see here. Springdale, they go on the road, beat Cabot 52-31. Bentonville West comes from behind, knocks off North Little Rock in the final seconds, 34-33. Fayetteville Mercy Rules PA, Little Rock Christian 44-34, 10-point victory over Harbor. In 6A, final now, Marion does win 32-29. Is that the only road team to win? Marion goes on the road all the way across the state, and they beat Marion beats Van Buren 32-29. 28-10, El Dorado victorious. Jonesboro holds on 42-34. Mountain Home 78-42 over Sheridan. 5A scores. Joe T advances. Farmington goes on. Hot Springs in overtime, the victory. Morrilton on the road, 55-26. Harrison on the road, 27-13. Once again, the West goes 4-0 against the East. Parkview beats Maumelle. Greenbrier out of the West beats Batesville and Lakeside 56-34. So the South goes 3-1 against the Central. Joe T, I guess that's the only team in the Central to win because BB the 4 lost, Maumelle the 3 lost, and the 2 Searcy also lost. So there you go. The South goes 3-1 against the Central. The West goes 4-0 against the East. In 4A, Blytheville over Pottsville. Mills survives Helena West Helena. Bauxite. Oh, that's another one. I was wanting Coach Perry to join us. Let me see if I can get him real quick. I want to hear about this game. All right, just texted him. Bauxite 28-26. Elkins shut out. Forest City. Batesville Southside. I always do that. I got to get out of that habit. It's just Southside. Southside wins 42-14. Arkadelphia. We heard from Coach Shucker. Big matchup with Clinton next week. Warren over Gentry. Pocahontas 32-13 over Nashville. Prairie Grove wins 34-14. I'll be honest with you. I did not see that one coming. I did not have Nashville losing in the first round of the playoffs. All right, let me come back to me. We got a coach joining us, and here we go. Bring him in. Bobby Bolding, head coach at Parkview. Parkview. What's up, Coach? How are you?
I'm wore out. I'm ready to get home.
Hey, you got it done. I mean, you're moving on. You beat Maumelle again. You tired of playing Maumelle yet?
Yeah, that's 4 times in 2 years. Yeah, we're a little tired of playing them, but we're glad to get the win and keep playing.
We were just talking about the South, and I mean, you knew, we all knew it was a good conference. The South goes 3-1 tonight. The only one to lose was Camden, and they gave Joe T a good game.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me, and knew we kind of figured our conference was pretty tough. It typically is, and it showed that tonight. 3 teams moving on to the next round.
Tell me about your game.
Well, we turned it over 4 times, had 3 touchdowns called back. So it was that was all in the first half.
Oh,
yeah. So it made it interesting. We had a 14-7 lead. We came out and stopped them, start second half, and went and scored. And then we kind of handled the rest of the game. But that first half was really frustrating with the turnovers and the touchdowns getting called back.
Was it gratifying in a way the second half, or did you clean it up and play better?
We did. We cleaned up. We cleaned up the fumbles. We cleaned up that kind of stuff. And it just it shouldn't have. The game shouldn't have lasted as long as it did. But part of that was in the second half. Maumelle was battling us in the second half. If we had handled our business in the first half, maybe we wouldn't have been in that situation. But they kept playing and getting after us, and it made for a long night.
Last question for you. What about playing Harrison next week? They got the upset victory, and you get them.
Yeah, I hadn't seen them at all this year, but we did all of our coaches kind of picked Harrison, and we knew the East was down this year, and that the West was a very competitive league up there, and we felt like Harrison might pull that out, and we're kind of glad that we get to be at home. But at the same time, I played them when I was at Whitehall. It's a different head coach, but he was there as an assistant, I believe. They're very well coached, very physical football team. So we're gonna have our hands full.
Coach, thank you for joining us. Get home, get some rest, and we'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
Thank you. I'm heading that way. Appreciate you, man.
You bet. Thank you, Coach. Hey, get after your brother. Man, that was a tough one. They lost in the last seconds. They had him and gave up a late touchdown. Yeah. I think he got a personal foul penalty, his second at the end of the game. So you got a little something on him.
Imagine that. It's not his it's not his first time to get a personal foul penalty.
Talk to you later, Coach.
I'll give him a hard time. Good talking to you, man. I will. Later.
See you. Bobby Boulding, Parkview gets the victory. Let's head up to Searcy. Zach Clark joins us now. Coach, I appreciate you calling in after a tough loss. I watched a lot of that game, man, and first half just back and forth. I tell you what, it was entertaining, and I hate that somebody had to lose, but it was y'all put on a show. Coach, you can't hear me.
Oh, there we go. All right. No, user error. Sorry.
That's all right. No, I was saying thank you for joining us. I know after a loss, that's the last thing you want to do, but I appreciate you. But you guys put on a show. It was a heck of a game to watch. I was glued to my TV. It was entertaining. And it's one of those, what I was saying is I hate that somebody had to lose.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly was. I mean, it's 35-34 at the half. We played outstanding offensively in the first half. Did not play well defensively. And then you turn around in the second half. I mean, it just kind of flipped. Like I thought defensively, we made some great adjustments. It just came down to turnovers. I mean, they had 2 short fields where they scored and then had a pick six. So, I mean, turnovers are kind of the name of the game. Credit them. They, we played a lot of man coverage, saw a lot of zero early on. Then late in the first half, they went kind of single high, mixed in some zone, but played man free but kind of closed the middle of the field. And, good adjustment by them. And they, in the end, they deserve to move on.
What are you going to remember about this season?
Man, we're a young team, but our seniors, like really, and they didn't get a lot of the accolades, but those guys, what they did, just from a chemistry, culture standpoint, I mean, I owe a lot to them. And I told them we're going to, every time we win from now on, even though they're not on the team, I hope they feel a part of it. And I'm really blessed and thankful that, our seniors, I mean, it hurts right now. It's going to, but those guys really enjoyed their time, and I appreciate them.
Felt like the foundation was kind of built this year for future success.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been slowly building, and then to me, we took a big step forward this year. Really had an outstanding year. I mean, 9 wins is we'll take it. If you told me, hey, we're going to go 9-2 every year, I'd probably take that. But they, it had a tough draw. I mean, I thought 2 evenly matched teams, just like I said, I mean, turnovers it ended up being the difference, but it was a lot closer than the final score was. It was a great ball game, and really appreciate the community, the way they've supported us. And they've packed Lions Stadium every Friday night.
Coach, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the year.
Thanks, Wes.
You bet. Zach Clark joining us, Searcy Lions. All right, let's go and talk about those Mills comments. I got to hear about this game. Cortez Lee joins us. Coach, what a game. I was flipping around from game to game and saw y'all were up at the half and thought, okay, they're going to take care of business. I come back, and West Helena had taken the lead, and there was a big 4th down play, and Eli Moody was running around. I thought he was just about to have the play of the year. They tackled him short. And then we started the show, and I looked, y'all came back and won the game. Tell me about the end of this game. What happened?
Yeah, it was an adrenaline rush. They scored with about 2 minutes, 7 seconds left on the clock. Man, we had two timeouts left, so we just know we had to execute. So we switched up a little bit, put Eli at a slot, and came with our other quarterback just to try to move and give them a different look. And we matriculated down the field with a couple little trick plays that we've been working on for the whole year, and a couple of them executed for us, and we got down to the goal line, went empty with Eli at quarterback, and he scored with no time on the clock.
Oh my gosh! So it came down to the last play.
Yes, exactly. On one,
Oh,
1 yard line.
wow. How are you holding up?
Man, it was pressure packed. Disappointed a little bit in some of the things that we did. They recovered a couple onside kicks, ran a kickoff back. Helena played well, and they have talent, to be totally honest. So credit to them. I always tell our players those are competitors as well over there. So you have to be careful automatically just penciling yourself in as the winner. You know, those teams have a say in that, and I thought Coach had his team ready, and they executed.
You know, when you have such a big game in week 10 to win your conference, did you notice anything this week? Any kind of a letdown?
Wes, you know how I go, man. Energy was up, man. Going back to back conference champs, it was huge. Number one seed, the guys were feeling it, and we were starting to see a change in their mentality of them being more player centered, meaning they were talking, communicating better. Coach, we need to do this better. Let's try this, and we like that because those are the guys that have to make the plays. So with that said, Wes, we felt confident going into this game. But like I said before, man, hats off to Helena Central. They came out, they played, they had a lot of energy, and we came out on top with the victory. So we're going to take it, Wes, however we can get it.
Well, next week, and I did not plan it this way. It just worked out this way. Mills is going to play Bauxite, and Coach Caleb Perry had just joined us, and he's ready to go next. And so I'll let y'all go ahead and say hello to each other for the first time before you meet each other and play each other next Friday night.
Hey, how you doing, Coach? Congratulations.
Good. Hey, congrats to you guys too. I mean, I think we both had a close one. So, Lord help us.
You know,
well, it'll be fun for you guys to prepare for each other. Coach Lee, I'll let you go. What a game. Congratulations on that victory over Helena West Helena.
Hey, thanks always, Wes. Have a great one.
Congrats, Coach.
Hey, thank you too, Coach Perry.
All right, Caleb Perry joined us from Bauxite, and that was another great game. Tell us a little bit about that game and the finish.
Well, I tell you, Ozark's very physical game, and whenever we had the ball, we were fairly successful with it. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot early with a penalty in the first half, and I feel like ultimately kind of what helped us in the long run was our depth. We had not as many guys going both ways as they did. Our defense, did a great job. It was a very emotional game. We had two players that ended up having to go to the hospital to get checked out. Both of those guys are okay. At least in the sense of, they're there's nothing life threatening or anything like that. And, Bernie Fox, our middle linebacker, had to go get some internal stuff looked at. They were worried he had some bruising or something going on, but I think he's okay. And his dad was texting us just a little bit ago. Hopefully he'll maybe be back with us next week. Obviously, safety always comes first before sports, and then Emory Moore. So in the second half, we were up. Gosh, I'm kind of losing traction of points. I think it was 28-18, and we drove essentially the length of the field, and they stopped us on like the 2, and we probably should have gone ahead and kicked a field goal, but we had such great movement. And anyways, they stood us up, stopped us. And I think it was the next play, they had a 99 or 98 yard rush. I had a kid, number 11. I don't know his name, but he can run. And gosh, he housed one on us. And all of a sudden, we're in a shootout. And, I'm kind of losing place of what happened. One of our players, Emery Moore. I think I don't. We don't really know exactly what happened, but he had to get carted off, and that was very emotional for our players. Obviously, anytime you see somebody leaving the field on a stretcher and you're not sure, there's a lot of tears, and we had to kind of bring him back in. He was responsive and at least a little bit at that time. Now he is. Now he's talking and everything works. And so I'm not exactly sure what happened to him, but. So we had to buckle down. They had the ball, and I think they got an onside. I think they kicked it after they scored the kick. It got an onside, and then they were driving again, and that's when that happened with Emery. He got carted off, and then so we had to rewarm the team back up, and dry our eyes and all these kinds of things, and they. Yeah, it was like every play was 6 yards. It was just what in the world are we doing wrong? I mean, they were threading the needle, I guess you'd say, in the run game, and I don't know, it's probably 30 or 40 seconds left. They had 3 timeouts, and it was probably on the 15-20 yard line. I mean, we really felt like they had all the momentum. I mean, and we're just hoping somebody makes a play. And I think Keegan Roberts, one of our juniors, defensive tackle, was able to cause a fumble, and we got the turnover. It was one of those plays where there was like maybe 6 guys that kind of kicked the ball around. I mean, and then we ended up coming up with it, and but we had to get a first down because they had 3 timeouts. So we ended up, our freshman quarterback put some moves on some people. I think got the first down, and so we were able to get in victory formation and finish that thing out. And I tell you, when the game was over, I still felt like stressing out, almost like it still wasn't over. Even right now, I'm kind of wondering if the game's still going on, in my head. So, but we're grateful for our guys to be able to overcome all those emotions, and we had some good moments, had some moments where we kind of shot ourselves in the foot, but that's why this game is such a great game. It's a man maker game, and these kids get to experience such highs and lows on these fields on a Friday night with the entire community watching. And of course, it was quite the experience at the pit tonight. The crowd was all in, and there were so many people that were just coming up to us after the game, and we're just thrilled to be a part of this great community.
Emotions. I mean, just the highs, the lows, the injuries. I'm sure you guys and you're wiped out.
Man, I'm wiped out, and I mean, we of course we'll have to rest up, and we've continued to lift weights throughout the season, and our guys have just continued to get stronger, and we'll have to, we're really going to have to lean on some of our backups are going to have to step up probably next week to fill in if we don't get those 2 players back. And then obviously we got to play Mills, and they're talented, and they got a great coach. And one of the things that's interesting about being a coach is I always try to find other coaches to kind of hate, to not like, but all these coaches, they're in it for the kids. And when I get to know them, I'm like, dang, I like that guy too. He loves kids, and he's trying to do the right thing. And it's one of these games tonight. You hate to see anybody lose, but that's kind of how it goes. And we were able to kind of come away with it. And Coach Watson at Ozark, man, they do a great job. And so it was a good night tonight for the Miners.
Well, Coach, thank you for calling in. Crazy night, and best of luck next week. And that's going to be, what a just great game in Central Arkansas, Bauxite and Mills. So much fun. Good luck.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Go Miners.
Caleb Perry joining us as Bauxite gets the victory over Ozark. All right. I think that's it. I think every coach is called in that we've talked to. Make sure before we get out of here, we're not waiting on somebody. Coach Lee, Coach Perry, Coach Shucker, Coach Dufresne, Coach Vega. Excuse me. Coach Up, Joe T. Robinson, Daryl Burnett, Bobby Bolding, Randy Tribble, Zach Clark, and Dustin Grimmett. Yep, perfect night tonight. That was awesome. We'll do it again tomorrow night. How about that? Or not tomorrow night, next Friday night. We'll have another great week of the playoffs. Big thanks to Gwatney Buick GMC for being a sponsor. Go check them out. And thank you for watching. And we will be back at it on, I guess, Monday night. We'll check on the Razorbacks tomorrow. Should we do a special show if they finally break that losing streak? Maybe. No promises. We'll see what happens. That's why you just subscribe to More Sports. That way you know when there's a new video and get that notification. And hit the thumbs up button, too, for me if you like the video. We got to go. That's going to do it. We went for an hour and 5 minutes tonight, and it was a great hour and 5 minutes. I appreciate all those coaches for joining us. Thanks for watching. Remember, come on back for more sports.
All Arkansas, all sports. It's more sports.